Good morning, everyone. It is no, it's not. It was a short week, so it's Wednesday. See, we're so confused already. Wednesday, September 9th. It is the 20th day of Elul. And, of course, I hope everybody will remember to join us tonight for our town hall meeting, which will be held on Zoom. And the invitation was sent out. Again, we're just going to go over the protocols for Rosh Hashanah, which is coming up very soon. Of course, we have Slichos beginning Saturday night and every morning before davening subsequently. And all the preparations are well underway. And we look forward to a very meaningful and exciting Rosh Hashanah here at Eitz Chaim. One of the exciting things that I noticed today, of course, is I think now finally all of the schools are back in action. So today with Golda Ak Academy starting, and I saw a number of parents, I think, were actually dancing in the streets. And because, I mean, it's a big deal when kids have been home for so long, and finally they get back to go pretty much all of them in person. I know there's some staggering, etc., but we wish a lot of luck. So today, the sponsor for our Dvar Torah and for our video, Samantha and Gabe Migdal, and I want to read you Samantha's dedication, which is really something that's very exciting, just to show you the kind of people that we have in our shul who are outstanding. Wishing good luck to all Eitz Chaim children who are returning to school, whether in person or live, or to say thank you to all the teachers, administrators, and staff who are making all of that possible. Tremendous amount of hakaras hatov, because I could tell you that I know how hard our schools, administrators, teachers work on a regular basis, but this past summer and dealing with what we have to go into this coming school year, even more so. So I think they deserve a tremendous amount of hakaras hatov. And to Simeon and Sabrina, good luck in school. And I hope you enjoy the picture of their first day of school, which was done, I think, probably with a tremendous amount of resistance, knowing those two. But it's exciting nonetheless. So the Dvar Torah I want to share with you, I got this brand new book. It's called Judaism's Life-Changing Ideas, a weekly reading in the Jewish Bible by Rabbi Jonathan Sacks. So first of all, that's all you need to know. You see Rabbi Jonathan Sacks. That should be good enough of an approbation that you should buy this book. And as a forward by Barry Weiss, which is interesting also. So we have a short vignette, idea, something on the parsha, but it's always followed by a life-changing idea. And I want to share with you the idea that he has for this week's parsha. One of this, we have Nitzavim Vayelech, but the first parsha of Nitzavim, and he talks about the importance of the covenant that is mentioned in this week's parsha. Up until now, there were three covenants. We had the covenant that God made with Noach, the covenant that God made with Abraham, with Abraham, that's called Bris Bein HaBesarim, the covenant between the halves, and then, of course, the covenant at Sinai. And each time, it was almost sort of like escalating or getting more serious in nature. And I think it's important as we relate this to going back to school. The first covenant, Noach, Hashem didn't ask Noach for his approval. He didn't ask him, even tell him about it. He just said, this is the covenant, and I won't destroy the world, etc. And all Noach had to do was keep the 7 Noahide laws. Obviously, that's why they're called as such. We call them Shiva Mitzvos B'nai Noach. We go ahead to chapter 15 in Bereshis. We have the covenant between the halves. And here, Abraham, who makes this deal, sort of this bris, with Hashem. And Hashem says, I ask only one thing. It was a big thing, but it was the covenant of bris milah, of circumcision. Which circumcision in Hebrew is called milah, but we call it bris milah, or more commonly we just say bris. Oh, when is the bris? The bris. The bris actually means covenant. It doesn't mean circumcision. Bris means covenant. And then we go ahead in Exodus, after Yetzias Mitzrayim, after the Exodus from Egypt, and they get to Mount Sinai, and we have the covenant of Har Sinai, which is, of course, the 613 laws of the Torah, which is asked of Bnei Yisrael. Now, as we get to Parshas Nitzavim, which is now almost at the very end of the Chumash, we're in the final days of Moshe Rabbeinu's life. And the final days of his life, what happened? He says not only was the covenant renewed, and it was renewed several times, and I'll share with you the passage from Rabbi Sacks, why the covenant had to be renewed. It happened because Moshe knew it had to happen. The terms of Jewish history were about to shift from divine initiative to human initiative. This is what Moshe was preparing the Israelites for in the last month of his life. It's as if he had said, until now, God has led in a pillar of fire and clouds, and you have followed. Now God is handing over the reins of history to you. From here on, you must lead. If your hearts are with him, he will be with you. But you're now no longer children, you're adults. An adult still has parents as a child does, but his or her relationship with them is different. An adult knows the burden of responsibility. An adult doesn't wait for someone else to take the first step. That's the epic significance of Parshat Nitzavim. The parsha that stands almost at the end of the Torah, and that we read almost at the end of the year. We're going to read it on the last Shabbos of the year. It's about getting ready for a new beginning, in which we act for God instead of waiting for God to act for us. And he goes on to tell a personal story about his rabbinical career and how he understood this about taking the first step. And he writes, I began to formulate it as an ethic. Don't wait to be praised, praise others. Don't wait to be respected, respect others. Don't stand on the sidelines criticizing others. Do something yourself to make things better. Don't wait for the world to change. Begin the process yourself and then win others to the cause. There's a statement attributed to Gandhi, and he writes in parentheses, actually he never said it, but in a parallel universe he might have done. Be the change you seek in the world. Take the initiative. That's what Moshe was doing in the last month of his life. In that long series of public addresses that make up the book of Devarim, culminating in the great covenant renewal ceremony in our Parsha. Devarim marks the end of the Jewish people's childhood. From there on, Judaism became God's call to human responsibility. For us, faith is not waiting for God. Faith is the realization that God is waiting for us. Hence the life-changing idea. Whenever you find yourself distressed because someone hasn't done for you what you think they should have done, turn the thought around and then do it for them. Don't wait for the world to get better. Take the initiative yourself. The world is waiting for you. And again, the life-changing idea, which is summarized at the end of each chapter, don't wait for the world to get better. Take the initiative yourself. The world is waiting for you. What a great message, first of all, for children who are going back to school, who have endured so many challenges, so many obstacles, and just trying to learn. And here we are with a new beginning, with also its fair share of obstacles and challenges. I see my kids coming home from school every day wearing the masks, and while necessary and appropriate, they find it to be absolutely exhausting. And just imagine how the teachers must feel at the end of the day. But you know what? Here's a challenge that we could take head on. Don't wait for things to happen to us. Don't wait for things to come to us. Let's go out and let's take the initiative. And I think that also is appropriate for the parents who are celebrating today as their children go back to school and we head into Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur in this season, which is going to look very, very different than previous holiday seasons, is that, you know what? Let's take the initiative. Let's find a way to take the situation that we have at hand and make it meaningful. Let's not wait for the inspiration to come. You can't just sit back and say, inspire me. People sometimes have asked me what I do, and the answer that I've given is that I'm a spiritual entertainer. Yes, I'm supposed to make people feel good and happy in their settings and then somehow be spiritually uplifted. Well, it doesn't always work like that, especially not this year. This year, we have to go out of our way. We have to go out of our comfort zones, literally out of our comfort zones, and we have to find ways to take that initiative and change the world that we have, which is so different than it was only a few months ago. So let's take this changing world, let's take the initiative, and let's make the best of it. Let's take the first step. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Simchas Torah, and all the opportunities that our children have in school. Hopefully they'll stay in school. Hopefully they'll be able to stay in school for the whole year. Let's take that initiative, and let's make the most of everything that we have. So again, to Samantha and Gabe, thank you so much for allowing us to share this idea. Good luck to your children, and good luck to all the children who are back in school. Good luck to all those who are not yet in school and are still virtually learning, and we hope that you'll get back to school soon enough. And really, good luck to each and every one of you as we take our first initiative, our steps forward for this brand new year of 5781. Have a great day.